Is this good to eat? Watch and see. I'm Shidalu.
Many DM me. Holidays are near. Folks begin their stews. Any tips for cooking with herbs?
Yeah, my secret stash has 5 herbs. They're not medicine, but overall, it's simply more like a DLC expansion pack for a game in essence, really.
MOD?
Right, MOD. They're just seasonings. We're talking about what ingredients pair very well with these 5 herbs.
I'm making stewed ribs, but watching my weight, so I only buy lean meat. It's awful. Dry, stringy, and bland. What herbs can add flavor?
First, if you accept Chinese herbs, I'd suggest astragalus. Astragalus is a great qi tonic, yet its effect is just a little bit gentler overall. Unlike ginseng, which is strong, just a little extra really won't mess with your system in any way at all. The reason I add astragalus is that it enhances the richness of the broth. You know, the lean meat broth can taste a bit bland, and the meat is tough too. We can tenderize tough meat with sous vide or other methods, but for the broth, if there is only lean meat, it can be bland. You can add astragalus slices. You may choose to slow simmer it or briefly boil it to get a subtle and elusive flavor. It feels familiar, but you can't quite place what it is. And then you just drink it all up. This is what makes astragalus special when I am cooking up herbal dishes myself. And I'm really not sure which herb I should be adding to help bring the 2 flavors together properly. I add a bit of astragalus. I might introduce some other herbs later on that do the exact same thing.
What does astragalus look like, and how do you use it?
There actually really is no special trick to it whatsoever, honestly. Just toss it in cold water. It comes in slices. 3 to 5, even 10 slices are fine.
No peeling needed? Isn't that xiaohuangqi?
Bad pun.
For heavier tasting meats, like clear braised, lean beef, smells more gamey than pork. Is astragalus not enough here?
Right. When astragalus simply isn't enough, especially with beef or lamb, meats that are already rich in flavor on their own, and you want a subtle hint of herbal depth, I go with angelica. I only learned that at some later point. I was cooking at one point for some extremely senior officials from the authorities, and there was a high-ranking person, a top official. He loved beef soup. So I scoured everywhere for the best clear braised beef soup recipe. Finally, I found one that was truly brilliant. It used angelica, and the angelica was added so subtly, not like 3 or 5 slices, for about 2 full gin of meat. The recipe used only a single slice of angelica, nothing more at all. It had a splash of fish sauce and white pepper. Fish sauce is strong, beef is strong, and so is angelica. They form this perfect 3-way balance, a really beautiful equilibrium. Angelica is perfect for adding just a hint to heavy-tasting meats. In braised dishes, it is often used too. Braised foods use various herbs and hearty soy sauce. Add caramelized sugar with its bitterness, and it gets intense. Adding angelica balances it out and works great. When I'm working with heavy-tasting ingredients, I choose angelica. For lighter-tasting ones, I choose astragalus.
When it comes to herbal cooking, I'm straight to chicken soup. Chicken soup takes ginseng. But why do some taste like medicine, others savory? Can I swap chicken for duck?
Duck won't work, since it really falls under red meat. If you use duck, angelica is the better choice. That's why we have angelica duck. Now, when it comes to the relationship between chicken and ginseng, ginseng has a strong flavor. It's the flavor we associate with Chinese medicine. What's more, ginseng is bitter, so you must not add too much. I really have to reiterate this. We're not talking about medicinal effects, but simply for flavor enhancement. The amounts are always small, just for the aroma. Ginseng is an ideal match for chicken soup. If you are working with only one poussin, or a chicken that is raised for meat, where the flavor is mild, simply toss in some fresh ginseng. If you can't find it, which is harder to find in Taiwan, China, add in a little American ginseng. 1 or 2 slices are enough. If you're using free-range chicken with such a rich, robust flavor, This already goes beyond what regular ginseng can really handle. For that, add a few more. Sometimes I even add ginseng extract. You know, the kind you tear open and squeeze into your mouth for an energy lift. Add a few packets, and the chicken soup tastes full-bodied with instant richness.
I have another scenario. Everyone's into sugar control. If no sugar or MSG and the meat lacks sweetness, should I really even add that secret ingredient though?
Many add goji berries, but I lean more toward jujubes, aka red dates. The reason lies in how naturally sweet they are. They have a sort of fruity note, so I find they taste more natural. And their sweetness is also easier to control. Their sweetness comes out slowly and gradually, not all at once, so the broth just won't suddenly get too sweet. Slow release type. It sweetens as it simmers. Once the broth is sweet enough, I take the jujubes out. Jujubes do two things. They add sweetness and release sweetness gradually. It's important. I think using jujubes really makes them perfect for situations where MSG doesn't belong. A great example is light sesame oil offal soup. The broth is simmered with water, not built from a stock. But if you need sweetness and you can't use a vegetable stock, you turn to jujubes. Hope that helps.
Lastly, licorice root. It has quite a unique flavor, but many folks add it to fried chicken and even mala hot pot. Why?
Hot pot always has it. As for fried chicken, I'm the only one who does that. A touch of licorice powder in the marinade works extremely well. Maybe it's because I grew up in Tainan. Our thing with sweetness has no off switch. We set the bar high.
You're shameless.
There's no upper limit.
Unlimited.
What's great about licorice root is its lingering sweetness. Its sweetness only hits after you swallow, hence the name sweetgrass. The upside is, when you're balancing some particular flavors, some linger until the end, like spiciness. Spiciness really needs something to balance it. Or people will say, all spiciness, no flavor, right? You need a flavor that softens alongside the spice to get layered spiciness. We'd often use sweetness, hence the sweet-spicy combo, or add a fruity note. Yet I handle it by using licorice root. To let sweetness follow the spice and fade together, you need a lot of sugar. But if you don't want it to be that sweet, but still want that depth of spice, licorice root works perfectly to balance the spice. One more thing, my own secret. I don't use plain licorice root. Check out a better kind called honey-fried licorice root. It's processed with honey, so it carries a subtle honey aroma. And the flavor of it is a little more grounded than regular licorice root. Grounded means it has more body, so it's more versatile when used in cooking. I highly recommend it.
How much should you use?
For honey-fried licorice root, or licorice root, you don't need much, because licorice root is also the slow-release type, so you can take it out anytime. But if you don't have enough time to patiently simmer licorice root slowly and thoroughly to completely extract the flavor, switch to licorice powder. The amount is tiny. We often talk about half a teaspoon or a full teaspoon, but here we really don't need to use a teaspoon at all. All you need is a tiny amount taken from the tip of your chef's knife. You got it? If you measure it in a teaspoon, it's like 1/3 of a teaspoon, 1/4, 1/5 of a teaspoon. That tiny amount already gives a great result. So 1 pack of licorice powder can last years.
I'm such a scatterbrain. These herbs are awesome. What if I clumsily toss them all in at once?
What would make you throw them all in together? But think about it. Ginseng and angelica pair perfectly. Ginseng is bitter, so you need some sweetness. You can use jujubes or licorice root. Then toss in a big handful of astragalus to balance the flavors. That could work. I guess the flavor should be fine. Just depends on what you're stewing. Add plenty of rice wine, then sauté a little ginger. Like sesame oil chicken or angelica duck, they'll all work. No worries, it works.
Mix them all up.
Yeah, throwing them together won't cause problems. And this has no link to health benefits. It's about how the flavors blend. A chef's opinion. So to all the herbal fans out there, please don't leave comments lecturing me. It is just for flavor. See, these Chinese herbs aren't really supposed to taste bitter in the first place. They do carry our ancestors' wisdom. In cooking, Angelica gives you a nice counterpoint and body. And astragalus can make the whole body just a little bit richer overall as well. And ginseng really pairs particularly well with chicken. Jujubes add sweetness. Licorice root adds sweetness. So with these combinations, when you're in the kitchen, don't ever treat those herbs in your freezer as though they were medicine. Please, just use them as seasonings.
We also made a chicken soup episode before. If you're interested, go check it out. For a 10-minute soup, what herbs can make it taste better?
For a 10-minute chicken soup, I'd add some astragalus. And if I want it just a little bit sweeter still, I'd add jujubes. So astragalus and jujubes are absolute fridge essentials.
Now that you know these fun tips, don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe.
Please help us reach 70,000 subscribers.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.